The Canon EOS R3 will have a high megapixel sensor, much higher than that found in the 1DX Mark III. It'll support 8K video and have a new autofocus system according to the latest leak. This and more after the intro. Thanks for tuning in to The Ordinary Filmmaker. Subscribe and like as it really helps this channel grow. And a big thanks to Atomos for sponsoring The Ordinary Filmmaker. I'm using the Ninja 5 external recorder for all my studio work as it saves me an awful lot of time in post. So if you want to speed up your projects in post, then use my links down below to purchase your own Ninja. It also helps support this channel. And now for the news. We know that the Canon EOS R3 has an all-new sensor and that it's going to be back illuminated, but that's all we know. Well, until this morning, Canon Rumor says that the R3 will have a resolution trick and goes on to suggest that the R3 could have pixel shift or some other technology. Now, as I've stated in other videos about the Canon R3, it won't have a 20 megapixel sensor like the 1DX Mark III, so expect a very high resolution image sensor. It's highly likely that the R3 will have a 45 to 50 megapixel sensor, allowing detailed stills and video. But 100 megapixels? I don't really think so. I mean, could this be the high megapixel, high resolution camera that we've been talking about? We'll just have to wait and see. We don't really know. Now, it's likely that it will support 8K video, and because, well, 8K is fast becoming an essential capability for high-end cameras, whether we like it or not. Now, Canon Rumor says that the autofocus system is the next generation of dual-pixel autofocus. Well, it's not going to be dual-pixel autofocus according to Canon Rumors. I'm going to go with the obvious one here. I think we're going to get quad-pixel autofocus in the Canon EOS R3. That's a bold claim. Canon's own marketing says that the R3 will have dual-pixel autofocus, and even Canon Rumors says so. So what do you think? Will the R3 have the new quad-pixel autofocus? And are you happy with a 45 megapixel sensor in the R3 if it can deliver the high frame rates of 30 frames per second accurately exposed properly? Let me know in the comments section down below. But here's what we know about the Canon EOS R3, and this comes from Canon. It will have an all-new full-frame back-illuminated full-frame sensor. It'll have much reduced rolling shutter due to the high-speed sensor, and it will be capable of shooting 30 frames per second with full-on autofocus and auto exposure. And this is important. It's not the replacement of the 1DX Mark III, but it will have an updated autofocus system. It will have eye-controlled autofocus that was last seen in the EOS 3, and eye-controlled autofocus means that it monitors your eye to see where you're focusing, and that's where it will focus. The last time we had this, as I said, was in the EOS R3, and we haven't seen it since back in 2007. And it'll also have 1 series sealing, weather sealing that is. Now, it sounds like a replacement of the 1DX Mark III, and it sounds like the R1, but it isn't. It's a new camera that will sit below the Canon EOS R1. The only question I wonder, is this going to be that high megapixel ARC system camera that we've been hearing about? It's really hard to say. I mean, 30 frames per second at 100 plus megapixels? I don't see it happening. I don't think it's physically possible. I really do think that this camera is going to have somewhere between 45 and 50 megapixels. And now, let's go behind the scenes. Just last month, I completed the Spring Challenge and I awarded the first place prize to One Shot Filmmaker, where he won an Angelbird 512GB CF Express card and card reader. That was a lot of fun. We learned a lot from it, but I'm getting ready for my May challenge, and here's what I want to do in May because I want to get everybody excited and outside, and I want you to use your cameras perhaps in ways you haven't thought of before. So I'm going to have a similar video challenge. You'll have to create a video anywhere between 30 seconds and 3 minutes, but it's going to have to be at night, and you're going to have to do it outside. You can't shoot inside looking outside. It's got to be shot outside, and you can either choose shooting the moon, the stars, some sort of market night scene, or anything shot outside. And at first I thought of doing a video where you could try to replicate some moonshot videos that I'd done in the past, or maybe shot the stars or the planets. Saturn and Jupiter are an awful lot of fun to shoot, especially if you've got something like an 800mm lens. But then I thought that would be too limiting. I wanted to open it up to as many people as possible. So I'm going to have details coming up soon, but essentially you're going to be shooting outside at night. It's got to be night. And it's got to be of something either looking up at the stars, such as the moon, the planets, astrophotography set in video form. And again, if you're a photographer and you just want to shoot stills, well, then put it in a Ken Burns style effect and put it in video format, and it's accepted. But again, the details will be coming out shortly. This Sunday, I'm going to publish a video with the detailed specifications of what it takes to produce that video, what you're going to have to do, and also the prizes. But for now, I think I can let the cat out of the bag in terms of the prize. First place prize is the Weeble S from Xiong. And the 5 runner-ups will get an ordinary Filmmaker baseball cap. And the prizes will be announced shortly after the end of May. Now what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to pick the 5 best video entries that I see, and then I'm going to hand it off to Jordan Drake, who's agreed to pick the winner. Now, one thing that's a little bit different this time, instead of submitting a comment with your link or trying to do it through Facebook, I'm going to provide another URL where you can go in and submit your link pretty easily, pretty simply, and everybody else can look at them in one place. So that's what we've got planned coming up. So I'm really excited by that. One apology I do have to make though. Sadly, there was a big mistake with the shipping. Instead of shipping them out to all the people that bought one, including the winners, they shipped them all to me. Now I quickly turned around and said, I wasn't going to accept the package. I turned around and shipped it back, and they're still they're still in progress on the way back to the originating destination. So I do apologize. Within 2 weeks, we should have all those at the destination. They are going out through courier, so it should be pretty quick. But I do apologize. But that's it for now. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win 2 Angelbird 128GB AV Pro MK2 V90 SD cards, along with a dual UHS-2 card reader. Or you could also win a Ulanzi LED light package with accent lights, an underwater light, and various other flat panel lights to light your subject, or as a starter kit for starting your own channel. And if you do want to support my channel, please use the links down below to B&H and Amazon to purchase any camera gear, because I do get 2% back from that, which goes into supporting the channel. And you actually don't pay anything extra if you look at the prices on goods from B&H and Amazon by yourself, and then use the links. You'll see that they're exactly the same. Thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon. First place prize is